story on sort of COVID rising and other respiratory illnesses going up. I was wondering if that's sort of what you've seen at your practice as well.
Yes, actually over the past 3 weeks there's been a noticeable rise in COVID cases. We've had patients calling in saying they've already taken a test and been positive, or we'll have patients come in with typical respiratory symptoms and then we're like, well, that kind of sounds like it could be COVID, let's go ahead and test you, and they came back positive.
Yeah. And what are some of the symptoms that those cases, is it like the normal symptoms?
Yeah, it can be. I would say generally it ranges from typical, hey doc, I've got my once a year sinus infection, all the way to I feel like I have the flu and I can't move and I feel horrible. I haven't seen a lot of the hospitalizations and ventilator type of illnesses that we saw initially with COVID, thankfully. Those still are out there, but it's been mostly run-of-the-mill, either normal cold symptoms or flu-like symptoms.
And is this sort of expected for this time of year since school started like a week or two ago?
Absolutely. So once you have people who are congregating in enclosed spaces like classrooms, like family gatherings, it really increases the transmission rate. And then once we have the temperatures fall, not today, obviously, with these temperatures, but like once the temperature starts to fall, our immunity actually drops as well. So that will be another rise in the cases of these kind of upper respiratory infections.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody this morning who said that the concern is there's going to be a winter wave.
Yes.
Do you sort of predict that as well?
We do, yeah. We'll start getting messages coming in, and it's really tricky because you can have these symptoms be due to COVID or flu or RSV or other respiratory viruses, bacterial causes, and even allergy symptoms. So we have to try to figure out which way to proceed with that, because they all are possibilities, and then you get that huge influx of the most common viral infections, so it makes it kind of difficult sometimes.
Yeah. And what can people do to protect themselves?
Washing hands is a really good idea, as always, and wiping down surfaces that are highly trafficked, so like tabletops and doorknobs, even the plungers on toilets are a good idea to wipe all of those down, and faucets. Wearing a mask when you know you're going to be around people with upper respiratory symptoms is a good idea as well.
Is there anything I didn't ask? Those were all the main questions I had, but was there anything I didn't ask that would be important for readers to know? If not, that's fine. I just like to end on an open-ended question.
Yeah, I mean, keeping up with vaccines is a good idea if you're in one of the susceptible populations, so the very young or the elderly over 65. If you have certain chronic diseases like respiratory illnesses such as asthma and COPD, diabetes, disabilities, autoimmune conditions, all of those increase your risk for bad things happening with just run-of-the-mill infections, let alone COVID. So it's a good idea to make sure you're letting your primary care provider know if you have any upper respiratory symptoms, especially if you're in one of those categories.
Well, thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.